Hello, this video is a guide on the Wave of Conviction Elementalist build. Wave of Conviction has very high base damage that scales up great with gem level. You can increase it with modifiers to all physical, lightning, fire, and spell skill gems. That's because this spell has a base physical damage that is by default partially converted to lightning and fire. It would be an issue if not for the Ignite Conflux from Elementalist's Shaper of Flames. You can even add more various types of damage sourced from physical damage, including chaos damage from Unholy Might buff, or cheap Obliteration Wand and Atziri's Promise Flask. The damage is high for an Ignite build. You can improve it with Mastermind of Discord, Heart of Destruction, and powerful fire exposure that can be easily applied with the skill itself. Additionally, with 2 Hex Curses, the fire resistance of your opponents will be very low. More damage is gained from Here of Destruction's Convergence and Elemental Overload, but these won't be always active. Flame Surge, applied via the Arcanist brand, is here too. It creates burning grounds for an additional layer of burning damage. Use Wave of Conviction to slay enemies, they will explode on death with Herald of Ash. The wave is slow but has great base damage and area of effect. If in need of more damage, activate Arcanist brand to cast Flame Surge with curses, and turn the Malevolence aura on. The build is very durable on account of its spell suppression chance, above average armor and evasion rating, life regeneration, life gained on kill, and block chance. The survivability can be improved with Tempest Shield for more spell block chance and Brass Dome for armor and maximum resistances. Clear speed is average, the wave moves slowly and the ignite is not instant either. It can be improved with Ignite proliferation and movement speed. Single target damage is great even when compared to non-Ignite builds, but Ignite feels better as you don't have to constantly use your skills. It's a starter build. There are a lot of clever ways to make the most of it on a thin budget. There are no mandatory uniques, but the ones that would be great are mostly cheap, so we heavily encourage getting them early if it's your starting build. Skin of the Lords is an exception, this one is expensive. The Devouring Diadem shouldn't be needed as Eldritch Battery is on your way and you should have enough mana reservation efficiency to host all the auras, but if it's not the case, get this helmet. Obliteration is a good budget option as the extra chaos damage will improve your ignite due to the Shaper of Flames' Ignite Conflux. You can keep using it if your Wave of Conviction skill gem has reached level 30. Skin of the Lords is a very expensive, but excellent armor on account of the extra levels to socketed gems and increased global defenses. Diala's Malefaction can be used instead. The Brass Dome, a massive boost to your armor and maximum elemental resistances. It will require some extra strength to wear, but it's not a big issue. On the Atziri's step, there's only maximum life, movement speed, evasion, and a lot of spell suppression, but if your other gear pieces provide attributes and resistances, it should be enough. Legacy of Fury applies powerful Scorch on the enemies around you, which increases your DPS. The additional explosions are not really needed. Your Herald of Ash works in a similar fashion. Replica Dragonfang's Flight, the extra 3 levels to Wave of Conviction, combined with a bit of resistances, attributes, and reservation efficiency make it the best amulet for its price. Replace it with a rare one only if your Wave of Conviction gem is already at level 30. Replica Emberwake accelerates your ignite by up to 45%, which translates into more damage if you're reapplying these ailments fast enough. The reduced ignite duration will require you to cast Wave of Conviction without rest. Enemies covered in ash from Polaric Devastation will receive increased fire damage. The ring also grants tons of resistances, it's a must-have at some point. Your auras are Grace, Determination, and Malevolence. Try to get the extra damage over time multiplier from Malevolence on a Watcher's Eye, or spell suppression from Grace. You're encouraged to increase the gem level of Wave of Conviction, which has tags like Fire, Physical, and Lightning, so it will be easy. You can also seek various types of extra damage sourced from physical damage. The best example of it is the Obliteration Wand. Burning damage, spell damage, fire damage, and damage over time multiplier are other offensive mods. For more durability, get maximum life, spell suppression chance, life regeneration, block chance, armor, and evasion. ES is not needed with Eldritch Battery, but try to have enough of it to cast high-cost spells like Malevolence. You will need a lot of extra strength and dexterity. Reservation efficiency is not needed. On a helmet, seek maximum life, spell suppression chance, and resistances. Suppression can be found on helmets with evasion. For the Eldritch mods, look for physical damage taken as fire and increased flammability curse effect. A weapon should increase the gem level of your Wave of Conviction by 1 or 2, your fire damage, spell damage, burning damage, or dot multiplier. A good staff could be extremely powerful given it has better modifiers to increase the gem level of all fire, physical, spell skill gems. It can also host modifiers for burning, spell, fire, damage, and dot multiplier. If you have decided to wield a staff, go for Enigmatic Defense and Whirling Barrier notables. On your shield, look for maximum life, resistances, spell suppression, block chance, attributes, and base defenses. Rare body armor is a good option if you need some more specific stats like suppression, life regeneration, or more resistances. Maximum life and some mods to reduce physical damage taken are very desirable. For Eldritch mods, seek the increased effect of non-curse auras from your skills. Boots. Get some maximum life, resistances, suppression, attributes, and movement speed. For the Eldritch mods, get Scorched Ground and Accelerate Ignite. As is the case with most other rare gear pieces, seek maximum life, resistances, spell suppression, and attributes, mainly dexterity or strength. For Eldritch mods, get fire damage over time multiplier and spell suppression chance or fire exposure on hit. On a belt, you can get tons of strength, resistances, and maximum life. These are by far the most important stats. Armor and life regeneration will be great too. Rare rings should fix your attributes and resistances. Maximum life is of course obligatory here as well. Increased maximum life, burning damage, and damage over time multiplier are the most valuable mods on rare jewels. The default regular fire or elemental-oriented large cluster jewel is used mostly to host more powerful, medium cluster jewels. The vast majority of the notables that can be found here will do the job. Blowback, Brush with Death, Wasting Affliction, Circling Oblivion, or Burning Bright notables are excellent additions to this build, but so are the majority of those present on burning damage medium cluster jewels. At Ziri's Promise, extra chaos damage sourced from both physical and elemental damage will improve your ignite damage. Taste of Hate. A portion of physical damage taken as cold damage, and extra physical damage dealt as cold damage will improve your survivability and damage alike. Unholy Might from Sin's Rebirth adds chaos damage to skills based on their physical damage, which will result in more potent ignites. More Evasion and Smoke Cloud are solid defensive layers. For other flasks, we recommend getting a Life, Jade, and Granite ones. Their suffixes shall stop bleeding, increase armor, and evasion. Wave of Conviction is a spell with high base physical damage, some of which is converted to lightning and fire. It will deal mostly fire damage on hit, causing ignites via Shaper of Flames. Link it with Empower, Burning Damage, Deadly Ailments, Added Fire Damage, and Swift Affliction support gem. All of the support gems have an awakened version that you should get. If you don't have the right colors in your Skin of the Lords, you can use Cruelty or Unbound Ailments. Grace adds and increases evasion rating for a higher chance to evade damage from attacks. Determination adds and increases armor to take less physical damage from hits. Herald of Ash adds fire damage sourced from physical damage, much like added fire damage support, and improves your clear speed, as the ignited enemies will explode, dealing fire damage. Link these three with Enlightened support to reserve less mana. Defiance Banner increases your evasion and armor. Nearby enemies have reduced critical strike chance. Use Herald of Purity for more physical damage. It results in more powerful ignite as Wave of Conviction deals base physical damage. It can be replaced with Tempest Shield for spell block chance if you value survivability over the damage, works only with shield and offhand. Arcanist Brand will trigger all linked to its spells in sequence while attached to an enemy. Flammability is a curse that lowers opponent's fire resistance. Elemental Weakness is a curse that lowers opponent's elemental resistances. It requires having Whispers of Doom allocated or anointed. Flame Surge creates a burning ground upon hitting an ignited enemy, the damage of which is tied to ignite damage your foe is currently suffering. Malevolence is the most important aura. It grants more dot and increased skill effect duration. Link it to Divine Blessing support. This aura is now a temporary skill. You should be able to afford it after linking it with Inspiration 2, allocating Eldritch Battery, and gathering some extra energy shield from gear. Frostblink is a simple movement ability to teleport. Here, it will also apply Combustion. Link it with Combustion and Unbound Ailments. The ignite will now last around 6 seconds, so make sure to Frostblink on top of bosses from time to time. Molten Shell absorbs a portion of incoming hit damage. The more armor you have, the more of it can absorb. You could set Molten Shell as your movement key, but linking it to cast when damage taken is usually more efficient at preventing damage. Kill all the bandits in Act 2 for extra skill points. We recommend Brine King for the Major God. It prevents getting stunned multiple times, and after an upgrade, it introduces freeze immunity. Abarath is good for a Minor God, it reduces ignite duration on you. Your life recovery isn't great, so it's definitely useful. On the passive skill tree, grab fire damage, burning damage, damage over time, maximum life, reservation efficiency, and some defenses like block chance, spell suppression, or life recoup. You will need Elemental Overload and Eldritch Battery keystones. For masteries, get 50 life as Life Mastery, Reservation Efficiency as Mana Mastery, more potent fire exposure as Fire Mastery, and 2 Reservation Masteries, for increased effect of auras and increased damage per aura. And that's it. A simple Ignite build, good for a league start. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, see you in the next one.